Hello all, this is Ashwin. How is it going? Welcome back to my series of tutorials on OpenCV 3 and Python 3. Till now we have learned a lot of things. We have learned arithmetic and logical operations on image, and we have done a couple of small projects which demonstrate the real life usage of arithmetic operations on the image. The prime example of that is blending and transitioning of the images and then using the trackbar and all. And if any one of you are new viewers and they don't know what I'm talking about, then they can just go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can also go through the past videos. You will find a lot of stuff there. So in this particular tutorial, we are going to understand what an image transformation is and how to perform a transformation on any image. So basically transformation, there are various types of transformations. So the first transformation is the first transformation that we are going to discuss is known as scaling. It is also known as resizing an image. So resizing refers to two operations. One is shrinking, okay. It is also known as scaling down. The other operation is zooming, scaling up. So we can refer these operations. If you want to individually know the different types of scaling or resizing, they are scaling down and scaling up. They are also known as shrinking and zooming. Okay, so most of the image processing softwares or image editing softwares like Photoshop and even Paint, they apply all these operations on images when we order that software, or when we ask that software to perform image resizing or scaling for us. So let us have a look at how this thing can be achieved using OpenCV. So basically the transformations are nothing but mathematical functions which we apply on the matrix which represents the image. As we all know that images are represented by means of NumPy ND arrays, and we just apply these mathematical operations on NumPy ND arrays, and they are turned into some other array, and the visual representation of that array is nothing but the processed image. So similarly, this all these transformations, right? They are nothing but the mathematical functions. So first of all, we are going to have a look at resize function. Okay, so there are two ways we can. Let us write a very simple. Let us try to understand what resize what resize function does in OpenCV. So resize function, we have to pass multiple arguments to resize function. The first argument is the image to be processed. Second argument is none. Third argument is amount of resizing or amount of scaling to be performed on x-axis. The fourth argument is amount of resizing to be performed or extent of resizing to be performed on y-axis, and the final argument is interpolation methods. So let's talk in a bit detail about interpolation methods. Interpolation methods is determining how a new pixel will look like based on the pixels in the neighborhood. Okay, so that is known as interpolation. So if any one of you is a student of mathematics, high school level mathematics or graduate level mathematics, then he will definitely understand what interpolation is. Interpolation is you have n number of points, and then you need to determine where the n plus 1 point, the point number where the next point will be. So this is known as interpolation. So there are quite a few methods that OpenCV employs in order to determine the value of new pixel. So the most basic is linear interpolation. The second type of interpolation is nearest interpolation. Whenever you are going to scale down an image or whenever you are going to shrink an image, we should use area interpolation. For zooming, we should use cubic interpolation, zooming or scaling up. Also, the other most preferred type of interpolation used for zooming or scaling up is LANC ZOS 4. So this cubic, it operates in the neighborhood of 4 by 4. 4 by 4 refers to the pixel area. Okay, for the given point, and this Lanczos, okay, I don't know how to pronounce it, it operates in the neighborhood of 8 by 8. So let's get started with a very simple example and fun example. So this example, we are passing fx equal to 1 and fy equal to 1. So this is going to show the image in the original size, because we are not manipulating, or we are not modifying the, or we are not stretching or shrinking in any dimension. Okay, so let's execute this code and let's see the original size of the image that we are going to use for, okay, it's not linear, it's inter_underscore linear. Let's clear the console and let's execute the code again. It should provide us the correct output. Yes, it gives the correct output. So this is the original size of the image. Now I can stretch that image only in single dimension, and if you are going to stretch the image, we should use inter_cubic. So let's use inter_cubic as the interpolation method, the cubic interpolation. Let's execute it again. So this is how the image looks like when we use cubic interpolation and when we stretch that image in x dimension. Okay. In case you want to see the image resized proportionately, you can just pass 1.5 to the y dimension or y axis. So now the image has been stretched uniformly in its height as well as width. So if any one of you is using Photoshop or Paintbrush regularly, then you know that there is an option. You can just press the shift button and then you can resize the image by preserving its proportion. So all these operations on the image, right, resizing and all, they use the similar methods in image editing and processing softwares for achieving the resize or scaling up effect. So now we are going to have a look at how we can scale down. We can scale down by doing something like this. We can just provide something which is less than 1 and the image is going to scale down. We can even scale down the image in only in a single dimension. So for shrinking or scaling down, we just need to use area interpolation method. So it is not mandatory that you should use these methods, but the image quality is going to be much better if you are going to use these methods. That's it. I mean, if you try to use even nearest interpolation method for scaling the image down, it is going to give you the output. Don't worry about it. You can just like take this thing as an exercise. Just try all the types of scaling operations with all the types of interpolation methods and then compare the result. You can just save them in all the outputs in a single file, and just we know that we can just use imwrite function to save the output images in the files, right? And then you can just go ahead and compare the file sizes. You can do a lot of stuff like that, or you can just if you are using Linux or Unix, you can just like use the diff utility to check the sizes and where exactly the files are. There are even image comparison softwares available online. They will actually highlight the difference between the quality of the images. You can do all that stuff with that, but that is for the later part. We will just first see how to shrink an image in a single dimension. So here we are just shrinking an image in x dimension and the image will appear taller. Correct? The image actually appears a bit taller. Now we will uniformly shrink the image, or we will uniformly scale the image down with this operation. Fx equal to 0.5 and fy equal to 0.5. So this is how we can scale the image down. We can also employ a trick where we are shrinking image in a single x dimension and then we are stretching image in y dimension. Let's see how it looks like. The image will look unusually heighted, I would say, or long or tall. Yes. So this is how the image looks like once you shrink it in x dimension and then stretch it in y dimension. So this is all about scaling or resizing operation in OpenCV and Python 3. In case you are wondering where you can find the list of interpolation methods, don't worry about it. You can just go through the description of the video. You can even find the link to the code that I am using in this example. Please do let me know if you know more about all these interpolation methods and all that stuff. I will create another video for interpolation methods and comparison of interpolation methods. Thanks a lot. Let me know your thoughts and suggestions in the comment section. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. I will see you next time.